Hey everybody, this is Chase. I'm making a video here today about authenticity because it is integral to my work, and I think it's important that there's more clarity around it, because for me, I hear a lot of people talk about authenticity a lot. It's like a buzzword, and it's almost getting thrown around as something, and it's almost becoming inauthentic in its authenticity. So I kind of wanted to just talk about it a little bit here today, because I think it's the foundation of where we're heading on this planet, in terms of the way that humans are going to be starting to connect and relate to one another. Authenticity is the core. It's the core of intimacy. It's the core of connection. It's the core of truth. And it really is the opposite of denial. And I really feel we've been living for so many years under what Regina Thomas Howard, who wrote the book Pussy, which is an amazing book, she talks about the patriarchal world culture. And, under this culture, there's been so many things that have kind of eclipsed the feminine, and not just women, but the feminine virtues that every human being on the planet has. So we've all lost something in this. And we've lost pieces of our, femininity. Yin energies are the feeling energies. They're the intuitive energies. They are the quiet, internal, psychic energies that connect and are really unified. They're really those subtle energies. They're the subtlety energies that really is where the magic is, because it's where we kind of are able to connect with one another and nature, Mother Nature herself. I mean, we are nature. But when we are inside of those yin energies, we're more receptive. It's more of a receptive space where we're able to be more affected. The yang energies are very much about dominance, aggression, making your mark in the world, manifest destiny, which is a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful thing to be a human and to have that capability as who we are on this planet. But we are so yang dominant in the paradigm that we're in on the planet. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cultures that are much more mellow and receptive, but there's still an imbalance of feminine wisdom and even feminine power, and it's this type of deep internal energy that every human has, that women have, that it's time for us all to tap back into. So authenticity is really at the core of this energy. And what it is that for me, authenticity is really about not censoring yourself, which most of the time really means not censoring your emotions. Because, we're kind of, in our culture, we're disembodied. We kind of stop here. We are so head-based and based in rationality, that we are disembodied, meaning our bodies, which is where we feel a lot of our feelings, which is where we get a lot of gut instincts about things, which is where our intuition lies, which is where so much information, so much knowledge, so much wisdom lies inside of our body. We are so cut off in this era of rationality with yang energy that's starting to open back up to the emotion, the authenticity of the moment, which means when something happens, for me these days, to be truly authentic, I like to think that I have a pretty good, solid balance of masculine and feminine energies, because I am somebody that has a lot of masculine energy. I don't have any problem kind of going out there, and I don't fit into any normal feminine paradigm in this culture. I never have. And I also, at the same time though, I think for a lot of years denied the feminine aspects of myself, which were my sensitivity, my intuition, my whole life I was told that I was so sensitive. It was always such a fault, It's not a positive thing. But I'm realizing these days that my sensitivity is actually my strength. My sensitivity is my power. My sensitivity is my intuition. My sensitivity is my psychic power. And that's the era that we're kind of starting to enter into, where all humans are going to be starting to operate from a more sensitive core, meaning that the relatability to one another is going to become more authentic. So for me, authenticity really relies and is based in truth. And I've always called myself a truth teller. I have 3 planets in Sagittarius. I'm like, I'm a truth teller. Sagittarius is known for its kind of blurting out of truth. And I've done that my whole life. I was very good at, seeing other people. And, I've really come into this era in my life where I've gotten so honest and truthful about myself, which is the most difficult thing, I think, because it really requires us to dig deep and to really start to uncover the deep wounding that we hold, that kind of holds us together. And as I've started to I've had a series of events happen in my life that have kind of just created breakdown after breakdown. That's what life's for, right? I mean, if you're not living, you have to be experiencing. That's how I've chosen to live my life, is through experiences that a lot of times have been heartbreaking. But each time those experiences have completely cracked my shell. They've cracked me open. They've cracked open another layer where literally light has gotten through into this dark place that I myself was unconscious to even myself. Some people call this the shadow. It really is a product of the age that we live in. That is an age of denial. We live in an age of denial where the denial is starting to get cracked open by truth. I mean, you can see it everywhere. You can see it in our presidency. You can see it in the Me Too movement. You can see it, I see it in myself. We literally are all connected. We are all one. So everything that is happening externally is also happening on the collective. It's also happening to us internally. We are one part of a whole. So whatever happens to us actually happens to the whole. It's hard to believe because it's not something that you can see. But the more and more you begin to tune in to yourself, your core, your sensitivity, your spiritual feeling side, the more that you will start to feel this resonance with the collective, as that has happened to me in my life. So yeah, the more and more in my life that I have become authentic, or that authenticity is becoming something that is important to me, it's creating such a deeper level of intimacy in my friendships, in my relationships with my family, because it really requires a level of vulnerability, which we are taught in this culture to completely ignore. Brene Brown has done a lot of great work with this. Look at somebody like Oprah Winfrey, who is this perfect example of, someone that is so in their power, so strong, but also incredibly vulnerable. That is the reason why Oprah Winfrey is as powerful as she is, because she was people were related to her, because we all have this vulnerability. Yet we're finally just entering a time where the shells are getting cracked and the vulnerability is starting to come out. I myself, I have a lot of masculine energy, and sometimes, I have a hard time admitting. I used to have a hard time admitting when, my ego would get in the way. I've always been self-reflexive because that's just how I roll. But sometimes my ego would get in the way, I'm this, I'm not that. And after challenge after challenge, heartbreak after heartbreak, little by little, I've completely opened myself up to acknowledging that, yes, I am that. That is me. That actually is me. It's not them. It's actually me, right? Because everything we project onto somebody else is actually us. So the more and more and more vulnerable I have actually gotten with myself, the more and more truthful, the deeper and the more intimate I have become with my soul, my soul's purpose, and life around me. Not just relationships with humans, all relationships. Relationships to trees, relationships to the sky. Every single thing has become a much more of an intimate dance where I'm able to fully open up to an experience because there's not these layers of denial that are holding me back from fully engaging with life. So that's just a little bit about authenticity that I wanted to share here today. And yeah, I'm going to be writing about it more. And thanks for watching. Much love.